KREM 2 News at 10 begins now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for this special edition of KREM 2 News at 10. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. The Washington primary election is well underway tonight and thousands of voters have cast their ballots.
We are tracking the results as they come in tonight. But one thing to keep in mind, this is the primary election, meaning only the top two candidates in each race will advance to the general election in November. So let's take a look at the current votes in some of the key races.
So we begin now with the highly contested race to replace Eastern Washington Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers. There are 11 candidates running to replace her. It appears right now Republican Michael Baumgartner is leading with 28% of the vote, and second place right now is Democrat Carmela Conroy with about 20% of the vote. Republican Jacqueline Maycumber is currently in third with about 12%. So it appears at this point Baumgartner and Conroy will face off in November if these numbers hold.
Now to the race for the U.S. House of Representatives for District 4. Dan Newhouse is seeking re-election. At this hour, Jared Sessler is leading with about 30% of the vote. Newhouse coming in second right now with about 25%. And Tiffany Smiley, the Trump-endorsed candidate, sits in third with about 19% of the vote.
Now we are bringing you team coverage tonight from watch parties all across the city. KREM 2's Cody Proctor is monitoring results with the Spokane County Democrats.
But first, want to head to our Amanda Rowley. Amanda, you're with the Spokane County Republicans. What's it like as the party gets a clear idea of who is in the lead tonight?
Oh, Mark, you cut out there. I couldn't quite hear your question. But yes, we are at the swinging doors. This is where Republican Michael Baumgartner held his election party earlier tonight. This room was full of supporters who are buzzing from the excitement, looking at the drop on those initial results. Right when those results dropped, though, I noticed Baumgartner got a few high fives, specifically one including from former Spokane Mayor David Condon. Baumgartner told me he is thrilled to have taken the lead at this point. Now, Spokane County is just one of a few counties in the 5th Congressional District. Initial results show he got 28% of the Spokane County vote, and he's looking forward to securing more Republican votes going forward.
I thought we were doing well, to be honest. I was hoping we were going to break 30, and but I realized, look, Eastern Washington is a wonderful district, and there's a lot of different political beliefs. And, if I am elected to Congress, I have to represent everyone. And so while I got 28% tonight, that means that there's a good percentage that didn't vote for me. So I need to go out and earn that support and earn that respect. So we'll be working on that.
Now, Baumgartner anticipates taking on Democrat Carmela Conroy in the general election. He says while she has done a great job serving the country, he doesn't think she has the right ideas for Eastern Washington. Already coming out the gate tonight with some words for his potential opponent. So as tonight is a celebratory one for Baumgartner, he's already taking a look ahead at strategies for this upcoming general election. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. We want to go now to Cody Proctor, who spent the evening with the Spokane County Democrats.
All right, Cody, the party is hoping to flip the 5th district seat for the first time in decades. You were there the moment those initial results came down. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Mark and Whitney, some of those results started coming in just after 8:15 tonight as candidates and supporters found out who will be moving on to November's general election. And then after we moved away from that watch party, we are now at the bad seat in Hilliard for Carmela Conroy's watch party. Now, we mentioned her because she's part of one of the biggest races of the night, the race for Congressional District 5. Again, this is for Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers' seat, which became much more crowded after she announced that she was not running for re-election. 11 candidates vied for the spot with 6 Republicans, 5 Democrats. As of Tuesday night, Republican Michael Baumgartner and Democrat Carmela Conroy hold the top 2 spots in the race. Democrats hope to flip this race for the first time since the 90s when it was last held by Tom Foley. Now, we made our way over to Conroy's watch party in Hilliard, and I caught up with her earlier tonight.
Taking me some time for it to sink in. I know it's still preliminary results. We still have to wait for another almost 50% of the votes to come in, but it's very humbling and gratifying.
Now, while the night brought highs and lows, Spokane County Democrats also used the watch party earlier tonight to talk about their plans to organize and volunteer in the months leading up to November's general election. Now, of course, this is just primary election night. These are just some of the initial results. We are still waiting for more ballots to be counted, and they will also need to be certified later on this month. Reporting live in Hilliard, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Cody, thank you very much. And finally, the race for Washington governor. There are 28 people running looking to replace Governor Jay Inslee after he announced last year he is not seeking re-election. Bob Ferguson clearly in the lead with 45% of the vote, followed by Dave Reichert in a distant second with about 28% of the vote.
Now, it should also be noted Semi Bird, who was endorsed by the Washington GOP, only has 9% approval at this hour. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, we will hear from Dave Reichert as he sits poised to move on to the general election in November.
Well, tonight, again, just the primary election, meaning nothing concerning the race for president appeared on the ballots.
Vice President Kamala Harris, though, did announce her running mate today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, rounding out the Democratic ticket. He took the stage with Harris in Philadelphia for that announcement. Sources close to the selection process tell CBS News it was Walz's leadership experience and strong rapport with Harris that pushed the military vet to the top of the list.
In 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States.
Harris and Walz now embark on a cross-country trip with rallies in 5 swing states over the next 4 days. After today's rollout in Philadelphia, the Democratic ticket stops in Wisconsin and Michigan on Wednesday, Phoenix on Friday, and finally Las Vegas on Saturday. This is not the end of our election coverage. We have got several more key races to check in on.
In the meantime, you can find the most up-to-date results on our website. Just go to KREM.com. Right now, we want to take a quick live look downtown. Our forecast has been a bit unpredictable this week, but tonight seems pretty darn mild.
As we look towards the rest of the week, we want to get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to find out when we start to clear up again. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, when it comes to our overall weather pattern, what we're really looking at right now is going to be the dew point. We sit at 76, but with the dew point of 48, it's still a rather wet atmosphere. We are going to eventually get a new air mass, but when it comes to that moisture in the atmosphere, it equates to warm temperatures. Notice it's still quite warm across much of the region. Look at Deer Park and off to the north, 67 degrees, and there is where you have a little bit of activity. But notice that activity is winding down and winding down quite quickly. That's a good sign if you want to break in the overall weather pattern. But as everything starts to shift in the days to come, we are looking at a much different sky. An atmospheric haze returns tomorrow, but we still climb up to 90 degrees. So expect it to look a little bit smokier, but it shouldn't have too much impact on our air quality. Thursday and Friday, we stay near 90 with overnight lows in the 60s. Coming up, we're going to talk that smoke teaming in and what it's likely going to do to our air quality in the days to come.
All right, sounds good. Jeremy, thank you very much.